Welcome to Everyday Life. Thank you for joining our podcast, Conversations Over Coffee. My name is Jen.
And I'm Dagda.
And we're going to hit you with the explicit content warning right off the bat. This podcast does include adult situations and adult language from time to time.
I'm an angel. I never fucking cuss.
Okay. Anyways, you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go.
I make fun of Texas Ranger, but I never even seen the show. Anyway.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, weirdo?
I'm doing fine, wackadoo. Welcome back, everybody. It's us, doing our thing.
Just a couple of weirdos.
So, yeah, but it's okay. I would rather be called weird than normal. And it's so funny because there's nothing wrong with being normal. It's just not something I've ever been told I am my whole life. It's perfectly normal to be this way. It's perfectly normal. I'm not any of those ways. So,
an interesting thing that I just thought of. When I was a kid, I started reading. Well, I was like in my early 20s or whatever.
That's technically a kid still.
Well, I was thinking I was in high school, but I didn't hear about this series of books until after I was in the Army.
Okay.
It's called the Dorsai series. Well, the technical term for it is like the Child Chronicles.
Okay.
And it's spelled with a Y instead of an I.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, in one of the books, it's called Other.
Okay.
The people that it's referring to are these kind of fringe outsider people.
Okay.
Because at the time in this setting, the humanity has spread out into the stars.
Okay.
Because we've developed a faster than light travel system.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started colonizing worlds, and the worlds have only been colonized for maybe 200 years by the time this particular book comes out, the other book. And what has happened is more or less each of the major colonies, and those are colonies not Earth, Mars, not our solar system, other solar systems, each of the major colonies has specialized in something.
Okay.
And so there's some that have specialized in science and psychology. Some have specialized in engineering and technical aspects of that. The Dorsai, have specialized in warfare. And then basically each one of these groups that have hyper specialized, the way that trade happens between the colonies and Earth is by trading their specialists to do something. So they're trading people.
So it's slavery.
No, it's actually not slavery, but it's kind of hard to describe because it's a huge fucking economy.
Okay, but then is it human trafficking?
Not really. Basically, the people are trained to be specialists in this area, and that's how they make their living, just like normal, right?
Okay.
But their governments, basically, they essentially sell the services of their individuals.
Okay, that makes more sense.
To other places. And so that's sort of the main way the economy works is by trading specialists.
Okay.
Of course, you have food and stuff like that that's being traded around. But anyway, the Dorsai are kind of an exception in this, in that, yes, they are specialized in warfare, because their planet is very harsh. It's basically just a bunch of islands on the planet. There's no fucking major land masses.
Okay.
And so you can't really grow food other than fish and stuff from the ocean.
Sure.
And it was one of the very first planets to be colonized.
Okay.
And the colonization took place in kind of a weird way. The colonists would go they would self-select, obviously, to go colonize a world, but it wasn't political, it wasn't religious, it wasn't racial in the way that these colonies got set up. Instead, it was idealistic outside of those.
Okay.
So Dorsai was a very harsh world. So it got inhabited by fucking very adventurous people.
Okay.
People who nowadays would be doing like X Games and fucking mountain climbing and shit like that. Had most of those extreme sports
Okay.
and activities had been outlawed almost universally on Earth. And so the people who went there were like, fuck this, I want to fucking feel something. So they went there. And so the people who went there were extremely self-reliant, self-sufficient, and fucking also very pragmatic types of people.
Okay.
And when this economy thing started coming up, the only skill set that the people of that world really had was physical activity and combat, basically. And then they basically, over generations, they kind of honed in on the combat aspect. So they kind of took from several of the other cultures, especially the one that was on science and psychology, because they developed some sort of almost supernatural abilities
Okay.
in their combat and awareness type stuff, and being able to push their body beyond what is considered normal. And one of the like main dudes who created the tactics of mistake, it's called, which is their kind of combat doctrine. He had fucking studied specifically warfare, but also some of these sort of pseudo mystical things,
Okay.
and incorporated it. Whereas all the other groups were kind of more mundane, I guess you could say. Anyway, a bunch of the main adversaries that keep coming up are people who are trained in multiple disciplines. And that's what the others are. People who have been trained to not just be a super soldier, but to be also the fucking crazy psychology people who could manipulate you in crazy ways.
Yeah.
And so the term other had always been something really cool to me.
No, I get it.
Until later on, where it's like, oh, the term other is often used as a pejorative term. And it's kind of understandable, because to be an other, you're not part of the group, you're outside of it.
One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
I get it.
And so oftentimes the other is a marginalized group or whatever.
Yeah.
And so to me, the first time I heard somebody using the term other as they're a piece of shit or something like that, or they're oppressed, either of those two sides of the coin, I was like, nah, I'm an other. Fuck you.
Right.
But I was thinking more along the lines of that. But also, in a practical term, I am an other in most cases. In our society, people like me aren't super common.
No. I mean,
And they never have been. They're much more common now
yeah.
than even when I was growing up.
And I think that's probably just because of this unfortunate label we all get, this stigma that comes from being very intelligent and multifaceted, and like you can be very logical, you can be very science-based, you can be all of these things, but you also love to imbibe in the fantasy world and the gaming world and all these different things. And you know that growing up, if you that's just the thing with our generation. And I don't know if it's because of like parents, like their generation or whatever, but I think there was a lot of kids with some really mean boomer parents. Like, you know, like I have always said my mom's the best mom for me. Hi mommy. I love
Hi,
you.
Mommy.
Hi mommy, we love you. But you know, there's some kids I remember being bullies in schools, and they would pick on people for being others. They would pick on me because, like, when I was in school, when I was in fourth grade, I got picked to be part of an advanced reading and English class. So I was doing college, beginning like college level. Well, the first, the first fourth grade was basically what you would do as a junior, a freshman or a sophomore, excuse me, in high school. So that was fourth grade. Fifth grade was junior, senior, and then sixth grade was college level.
Oh, wow.
Even though they mixed it in, because the teacher's name was, and trust me, y'all, she is long gone, rest her soul. Mrs. Gray was like, she didn't accept limits. Like, okay, you can understand what's going on in this capacity, but you can do better. You understand what's going on in that capacity, but you can do better. So there was many times in fourth grade, and she always taught the advanced reading and English class. And, there was a stigma that went with that, where it was just like, here comes this certain time of day where you go down to her classroom and you do this. And it's just like,
And I kind of had the opposite, where when I first came here, I was behind. I think so. I was put in first grade when I was supposed to be put in kindergarten, right after my mom died, and that kind of messed me up.
Yeah.
Because, well, for one thing, the teachers, I don't know if my guardians ever really had a serious conversation with the educators. Because basically they just put me in first grade and that was that.
Right.
And so, I mean, it was obviously a bad time in general.
Sure.
But like I got in fights like every fucking day. I ended up not being allowed to sit with the other kids in class. So I had to sit off in the fucking corner. And then like during lunch, I would have to eat with the fucking vice principal. And so basically I learned fuck all my first year of school. And then I got up here because my grandparents were like, fuck that, you need to come with us. So when I got up here, my grandparents had meetings with the teachers and probably like the principal or whatever, to set up a sort of program for me specifically. And I had a talk with Zach about this the other day because they were talking about an individual something education plan or something like that, that all of the sort of special ed kids get nowadays. And I was like, that was interesting.
IEP even happens for mainstream kids too. Especially once they get into junior high, they start seeing a counselor more. They start like, here's your goals, this is what we're going to do, because kids are so off track nowadays.
And so when I was talking to him about it, he's like, oh yeah, that is probably exactly what happened. They set up an IEP. I thought it was something special that happened.
Used to be. It used to be.
And the reason I thought it happened at all was because my grandfather was part of the school district. Right? He was a maintenance guy, but still he knew the fucking principals and all those people. So he could set up a meeting with them to say, okay, my grandson is fucked up in this, that, and something else.
Right.
He'll need help. And so what ended up happening was until third grade, I was in special ed for reading and math.
Right.
The rest of the classes I took with the normal kids or whatever. And so it ended up being a really weird experience because when I'm in the class with all the other kids, I'm like, okay, I'm normal. Then I go to the special ed class and I'm thinking I'm retarded. But when I get there, I'm thinking I'm a fucking genius.
Right.
Because the other kids are actually much worse off than me.
Right.
And then I go back to class and I'm like, okay, I'm normal.
Yeah.
So I go from the I'm normal, I'm stupid as fuck, I'm genius, I'm normal.
And it's gotta well, I mean, you still fucking do that to this day.
Yeah.
You're like, what's priapism? Anyways.
I know what a priapism is. I was a combat lifesaver. Learned all about that in combat lifesaver.
Did you ever have to take care of that?
No, thank God.
Right. Yeah, who wants to stick a needle in that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Don't make me cry.
you're like, it's already minuscule enough. You put a needle in it, I'll never ever see it again.
Needle might make it twice as big, though.
I was gonna say you could inflate it. Anyways, I imagine that I had to. So IEP, an individual education plan. It has been around for eons. But yes, when we were growing up, it was more for people with special needs, which that it makes me very sad that you're like, I was in a special ed class.
And that's what it was called then.
I know. Well, by the time I got to high
I
school,
even rode the short bus to school.
well, I mean, that's just fucking go figure right there. But in high school, all of my freshman, sophomore, junior year of high school, I had one period every semester that I went and worked with developmentally disabled kids. And so I can understand that there was plenty of people in there who came in during mathematics time, who came in during reading time, who came in during history time, who came into basic life skill times and did the class. There was nothing wrong with them. There just was a little bit of a delay. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't necessarily. Back when we were younger, it's not like it was uncommon for people to express that this child went through a massive trauma at a very young age and was given a very long leash on what they needed to or not to do. I mean, it would be, it's very expected you would lash out the way you did. And I couldn't blame you. I have tried my very hardest to put myself in your shoes. And I imagine if what you had went through had happened to me, I probably would hate every fucking kid on the planet as well. And I'd want to beat the shit out of them daily. But anyways, so yeah, IEP 100% used to be about people who had a special need or developmental need, 100%. But now, I actually read an article recently about kids going to the schools to come up with individual IEPs by time they're in middle school so that it can keep them focused. It can keep them targeting what they need to target. And it also is helping keep kids away from like gang life is part of it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know if a lot of people are going to understand this terminology, but like the hoodlum life, because we absolutely live in a county where you really, it's a fucking mixed bag of angry cats. You know, I mean, you literally could fucking take your whole bag of dye and just fucking be like, what are we going to get? Boo, we get D69, 205. What do we got going on? And it can happen. And it's, you know, I always say everything's perfectly imperfect. I don't like the term normal because it was always, and you know, my siblings may or may not know, I don't know, but I got picked on a lot because they had dark hair and I didn't. I got picked on.
No, you have a different dad than your sisters. And blah, blah,
I was
blah.
always, well, it was bad enough I had an older sibling that was not appreciative of my birth, right?
Yeah.
But what made it worse is that my younger sibling, her hair is so much darker than mine, or was growing up so much darker than mine. But I always thought we looked similar, and they're like, "Oh, you guys don't look anything alike," because of one aspect. So I got picked on a lot for that, and I also got picked on a lot because before my ladies decided to come join me in life, I loved soccer. I loved baseball. I loved sports. It wasn't I loved it when I was younger versus other girls. Like other 8, 9, 10, and 12-year-old girls were like, ew, dresses, boys, pretty. And they were starting to come into that. And me, I'm like, I didn't play with Barbie dolls, really. We didn't really have money for that. We played with Legos. You know, when we were at my paternal grandparents' house, we were doing farm stuff. We were taking care of chickens and ducks and geese and the garden and all of that, you know. So, yeah, I got picked on a lot for it. There was, when my younger sibling got glasses, I remember having to kick a few asses for people talking about, derogatory term for person with glasses. And I was like, well, you know, let's have a conversation about that. And I was shorter. I was short. I mean, you think I'm fucking short now.
You was short?
Like, dude, I was 4'6"
and a half.
When I was in 6th grade, they made us fill out one of those cards. And I even can tell you what police officer filled that card out. And he said I was 4'8" when I was almost 12 years old. He said I was 4'8". When I went and got my first DOT physical done, they told me I was 4'11". barefoot. I was 4'11" is what they told me when I got my first fucking DOT done at 22 years old. So I think somebody's been fucking lying to me my whole life. But now I'm like taller than, I think I'm almost taller than every female in my family now. I don't know. Anyways, so you don't think the others is a bad term, and I'm really glad that you don't, because
Yeah, I've always thought it was. I mean,
but prior to reading that book series, did you think it was a good thing?
I had never thought of it.
Yeah, so it just never occurred to you if somebody was just like, oh,
Yeah, and
Dagda, you're so weird.
I mean, I've always been weird.
And that in and of itself is it's such a loose, there's just so many meanings behind that, because weird can be so good to some people.
I mean, I've never had a problem with it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, very occasionally I've had issues where I'm like, I'm weird, I don't fit in here. But the majority of the time, I don't give a fuck what other people are doing.
Yeah.
I've always, as long as I can remember, I mean, I'm an only child. And as long as I can remember, I've spent most of my time by myself. Even like when my mom was alive, I think I spent a lot of time by myself.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when I lived with those other people, I spent almost entirely all my time by myself.
Right.
Basically,
Like pretty much they just kept the food in the fridge and the lights on for you.
I used to joke that basically the only time they were around was when I was getting my ass beat, but that's a little extreme. But yeah, I would get up in the morning, nobody would be home. I'd fucking feed myself, clothe myself, walk to school. And then I would come home and nobody would be home. And so I'd fucking, if I felt like eating, I'd feed myself. They'd usually get home sometime around 6 o'clock, which of course, then by that time you've been there 2-3 fucking hours. Yeah.
How odd, when you look back, obviously the experiences we have, like I literally could just hear my older sibling when you were just like, I'm an only child. I've always been an only child. I literally can envision her giving you like a little side eye and going, you lucky duck. but growing up, she was best friends with my younger sibling. So,
Yeah.
and I get it. I mean, it's how I hate to say it's how kids are, but you know, sometimes things just go the way they go.
Yeah.
And you know, for the most part, like some things still affect me. I think that that's kind of a normal, but compared to like when you first met me, I don't think things affect me nearly as much as they, you know, now that I'm older and I'm just kind of like, I'm too tired to get excited about it.
Yeah.
My feelings do get hurt about some stuff still. And sometimes I end up working it out and sometimes I don't. And at the end of the day, I'm just like, you know, I imagine as traumatic as I felt it was as a kid to have always feel like I had a sibling angry with me. I imagine it was just as traumatic for her, because here she is. It's just this little bubble of just her and my parents. And then all of a sudden here I come along, and then another one comes on along behind, and then all of a sudden divorce her parents, and there's not as much time. And, you know, I imagine it was just as traumatic for her.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think they don't teach you, they did not back then teach you in school how to deal with that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, today they do much better. I mean, but at the same time, I also think we're making a bunch of snowflakes, but
Yeah.
because it's
Also,
just
like
ugh.
when we were kids, it was more of an industrial exercise schooling.
Yeah.
Now it's a lot more, they're a lot more cognizant of a bunch of different things. And I kind of feel bad for the teachers nowadays because they got to be aware of so much more things.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they have even more of a burden and less rights and responsibilities, I guess you could say.
Well,
Almost.
teachers get canceled left and right nowadays.
Yeah.
You have parents who go and go, excuse me, my daughter Jennifer came home and was crying because that boy Brandon would not share his extra blue crayon. And I don't appreciate my child feeling left out because you did not make him share his crayon that he bought with his own fucking money. We are
Yeah.
doing this thing where we want to be inclusive. Okay, that's cool. We can be inclusive, but that does not mean another parent should be paying for your child's shit.
Yeah.
It does not mean that another child is, well, he's got a blue one and he's got a blue one and he's got a blue one, but my mommy only bought me a green one, but I want a blue one. That's your mommy's problem. That's your daddy's problem. That's not these teachers' problems. And you see this where teachers are getting canceled left and right. And you see it on the YouTube and you see it on the TikTok shorts and all that shit where people are just like, there's a teacher out there. I wish I could remember her name because I would totally give her a fucking 100% plug. She deals with the most, and she's a teacher who came about being a teacher before COVID. And of course, she's still doing it after. And she makes these video shorts about different little situations she's ran into, about some of her problem children's. And it's the kids are problems, yeah, but the parents are just as bad. And there was a little skit, and she's telling one of her students, she's just like, no, Jacinda, we don't go through other people's things. We don't do that. Why not? It's what I can do. My mom said I can do that. And that if you don't like it, I'm to call her and we're going to get you fired. Like, she deals with these situations all the time. And it's just like, at what fucking point do you decide to make your child's life better than yours was, or go, whoa, I fucking survived and I came out pretty tough. So there's got to be some things where I'm like, you can have dessert on Friday and Saturday nights. Okay. Versus every fucking day of the week. I don't want to eat my broccoli. Fine, here, have some Skittles. I mean, I feel bad for the teachers too.
You can't have your pudding until you've eaten your meat. How can you have any pudding if you haven't eaten
I don't
meat?
even understand how at 4, 5, and 6 years old these kids are going, I want to be vegan. I only want to eat vegetable. Like, what?
Welcome to death.
What person in their right mind would subject children, people still developing their minds, their personality, their brains? What kind of insanity is it when we're letting people, young people, baby people who are still developing, see these horror stories that a lot of vegan pushers try to, and hey, if you want to be vegan, that's cool. I don't have a problem with it. But when you tell 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds that they're killing you're killing Bambi's mommy. You're killing Dumbo's mommy. Like, stop showing these young kids these fucking factory videos. There are actually good companies out there that let these animals have a decent life until they check out. But that's do you want to be the bottom of the food chain? Cool. Don't fucking eat the vegetable because you will kill millions of bugs and insects that are absolutely 100% beneficial to our earth. So now you can just fucking lay down and starve to death. But what? That's crazy to me. It is crazy to me when I see somebody on a YouTube short, on a Facebook short, when I see these little 4 and 5 years old, I've been a vegan for 3 years, and their teeth are fucking rotted out because they suck on Kool-Aid and eat carrots all day.
Yeah. Did you not drink your mother's milk?
Ooh, I didn't.
So then, because if you did, you can't be vegan because humans are animals, and milk is an animal byproduct.
I think all of those decisions need to be made. Now, I understand there's plant-based protein, but I just don't see kids. Man, if you ever took them kids to McDonald's, man, they'd never choose a vegan lifestyle, I don't think.
I mean, yeah, most people, even if you're vegan, probably especially if you're vegan, if they actually eat some steak or something, they're going to be like, oh my God, I feel so much better right now.
It's interesting how different proteins affect. There are plenty of people I've watched and I follow where they're just like, hey, plant proteins are different, and everybody, but you've got to get a variety of proteins in there.
Yeah, because plant proteins, first of all, you don't have the full spectrum of the amino acids that are required for meat. In other words, your muscle tissue.
Yeah.
And so you have to eat a bunch of it. And it seems like it self-regulates so that it only takes the minimum, whatever the smallest amount of amino acids are in the structure of the plant, it will only take the smallest amount. So if you have 5 blocks of amino acid A and 7 blocks of amino acid B, but only 2 blocks of amino acid C, it will only take 2 blocks
Yeah.
because it wants to have the whole protein.
Yeah, it wants it to be balanced.
And that's once you can actually extract it from the plant, because the plant doesn't want to fucking give it up. On like meat, it's basically you get almost
Right.
all of the proteins.
Right.
So
And
anyway,
yeah, and like I said, I don't have anything against people who are vegetarians or vegans. I'm like, cool, if that's your bag, that's your bag. But do not look at me and go, you murderer. Because I'll tell you what, I will fucking slaughter a good ribeye any day of the week. Now, having said that, I don't actually eat that much beef anymore. Most of my proteins do come from lean chicken.
yeah.
And it's because it's just, first of all, the price of beef is unreal. It's unreal. Fucking good quality ground beef, $8 a pound. Are you kidding me? But yet, if I want to pay $4 a pound, I can go get 70/30. And I'm like, what? Like, I understand meat costing more. I get that. But when fucking sirloin steaks, little tiny petite sirloin steaks, are $14.99 a pound, it's like, no. I'm like, I can pretend. I can make chicken taste a little bit more like beef, and I'm not going to say how, because I'm not going to affect the industry by giving away my little secret how I can make it taste a little bit more like beef.
No, do it so that the price of beef goes down.
They won't, though. The price of chicken will go up, so fuck you. You ain't raising the price of my chicken. It's not happening. But what, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I get fucking annoyed by all of it. Anyway,
Just eat chicken at the sea. It's fine. It's still chicken, right? It says chicken of the sea.
that was such a good episode. I'm sorry. It's the chicken, right? Oh my god, I felt so bad for Nick Lachey, and I feel bad for Jessica Simpson. I don't even know if she remembers she did it.
Yeah.
I think she made a spoof comment about it on one of the shows that she did one time, but I think she very much avoids it.
I hope she was joking when she did that.
I don't know. I'm just going to be, because, you got to think about it. She had been performing since she was really young. Everybody was doing everything for her.
Yeah,
So
her
she may
practical knowledge was not super high.
No, because I think she had a lot of homeschooling time. I'm not 100% on that. But anyways, yeah, when you first said The Others, I thought you were going to talk about the Nicole Kidman movie. And I was going to be like, yeah, that was a little twisted little monkey, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a twisted little movie. Yeah.
It was.
It's the I See Dead People, but before.
Yeah.
It did
I
come
live
up-
with dead people before the I See Dead People.
Yeah.
I remember being so excited when that movie came out, and I was like, this is going to be good. And then I was just like, and of course, I saw it after I'd seen, because I never watched any of that. There are very few movies I have seen released out in the theaters. Most everything, just because of finances, I end up watching years later. And so I'd already seen The Sixth Sense well before I saw The Others. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great, because she's going to realize that she's dead early on. And then I was just like, you dirty dicks. I don't like movies where they have dead kids in them. I don't like
Yeah, that movie was great, but it was also super fucked up because of what all happened.
Yeah, it was very sad.
Especially once you find out what actually happened to her and her kids. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, this is fucked up. And then her husband shows up and he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. There's some hoes in this house, I'm telling you. No, I thought that's where you were going to go with it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't mind being abnormal. Like I said, it's a great joy to me. There's a lot of times we have conversations that aren't on mic. And so I have to get the names. I'm telling you, there are a lot of times I feel like we're those nerds from Weird Science where we just have our own language because we get it. And then like the last episode, I almost shit myself laughing over Schmegma.
Yeah.
Now I'm okay. Now I can hear it. In the moment, I couldn't hear it because it was like, this is too much. Because I felt bad because I didn't want people with OCD thinking that we're not sympathetic to the plight.
Yeah.
But I mean, because we are. But there is OCD. There's extreme OCD, and then there's
OCD.
Is a lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
For fuck's sake. Anyways, yeah, that was, yeah, that's where I thought you were going with that, but I'll probably have to check that out because
Yeah.
I like, I think that's the best way to be as a human is your own individual. However, saying that, I don't wish to open up the emails or open up the comment section and see people wearing pink and purple giraffe outfits with 18-inch double dongs sticking out of their ass. I mean, be your own thing and you be your own freak in your house. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see any of that. Keep that clearly away from me. So, anyways, yeah, what were we going to talk about today? The day's almost done. What were we going to talk about?
I don't know. I figured you were gonna talk about fucking epic rap battles or something.
Oh, at least I'm not in trouble anymore. I just went to look to see if there was anything new. And so I'd actually Wikipedia'd them. And so the only reason why I went to look at anything is because there was a canceled episode. And I'm like, what's this? And don't even ask me what it's about now, because then I saw there was POTUS versus wannabe POTUS. And I was just like, and the fact that nobody sued anybody, I'm just like, wait, what?
I mean, they didn't sue. They didn't sue them for the first one that they did either. So it's the second time. That's like the fourth one that they did, but the second one with him.
Yeah, it was just like, it's really interesting. So one of the things I love about epic rap battles, it's like they take the nitty of the gritty, and I feel like Nice Peter and Epic Lloyd really do that balance how I feel like I have my life. Look, everybody's not great, everybody's not bad. Unless you fuck with animals and then children, and then go fuck yourself, you fucking piece of shit. Anyways, but
I'm the original Dark Lord. You're just a sorcerer's apprentice. Any fucking way.
so I love how very much that Epic Lloyd and Epic Peter do that thing where they're just like everything that's like the worst thing that might not be the most mainstream knowledge about people, or the thing that like politicians may have fought at the podiums about, or whatever, how they're just like blah blah blah, and that one just happened to be another guy came in and he was just like, and you fuck off and you fuck off and go fuck yourself because nobody's perfect. And I was just like, yup.
I don't think I watched that one. So did Lincoln show up again?
No, it was another dude, Webbinger or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea who it was. It was supposed to represent somebody, I'm sure, but I was too busy giggling at what because honestly, Harris won that one. Honestly, Harris just had some better like slings in there. So for me, and it was just like, oh my God. And then it rolled into this advertisement that was like 2 minutes long for some kind of a news publication that they're backing or whatever.
Is it Ground News?
Yes.
Ground News is awesome. So Ground News, it posts stuff from everywhere.
Yep, and they tell you where it's at. And
yeah,
then,
you can see comparison between the articles
and it'll let you know which way it leans.
Yeah, and it also will give you the background information for the news source.
Yeah.
So it'll say, okay, these are left leaning, these are right leaning, these are central, whatever.
Yeah.
And it will list who owns them and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
So you get way more information than whatever the articles themselves are.
It threw me for a loop, because normally what would happen when I watch an epic rap battle, which Nice Peter, Epic Lloyd, good job all these years later.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Very much so. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the creativity behind it's fucking great, and they bring other artists in and all that, which is fantastic.
Also, like, Nice Peter. I mean, who doesn't love a good dick joke?
Who doesn't like a Nice Peter? That guy, like, he's so thin. I worry about him. I'm like, oh my goodness, he's so thin. But but that ad for
he's like a swizzle stick.
Fuck, right? Christ. But that ad just kind of threw me off, because I meant to go and I wanted to go look up the third person that was in that video, because he was just like, all of you guys shut your fucking yaps and do something better.
Yeah.
Like, you quit whining, you quit bullying. I mean, like, we're fucking, hello, we're looking to you guys to make things better.
It's like back when Lincoln showed up in the other ones. I remember
For the people, by the people, eagle.
Yes, that was one of my favorite things ever. of the people slaps fucking Obama. By the people slaps
Slap.
the other dude. I don't remember who it was.
Bush. Was it Bush?
Yeah.
He slapped some Bush.
Of the people.
Nice Peter slaps some
For the
Bush.
people. Ego.
I love that.
Eagle.
Eagle. I still love that. I got a bucket full in my head and I'm about to make it rain. So, but that threw me off. So I didn't go do what I'd normally do, because what I normally do is I watch it and I go, okay. And then I go Wikipedia it and I look at, and I try to like do almost like a fact check. Is that how you would say it?
Sure.
I would just try to go look and see what information I can verify. Right. And then I'll go back and watch it again. But I didn't do that because first off, you caught me doing it. And second of all, that
Watching epic rap battles
oh my God,
behind
you
my
sounded
back.
so mad. I almost whipped around and looked at you and said, it's not like I went and saw Abby without you. Jesus Christ.
Or Miss Z.
Well, I mean, usually I don't ever tell you when I see her when you're not around.
Yeah, savages.
Well, you don't tell me all the time when you see her.
That's because none of your business.
I got my secret squirrel business and I'm going to keep it secret squirrel. Fuck you. Like, fucking Christ. Oh my God. Fucking little sock goblin over there sniffing fucking socks on the line. Going, don't be telling me my business, you devil women. Now you tell me when you two get together and what's going on, but don't you mind where I'm at with these socks. Fuck. That felt very POTUS. You mind your own business, but tell me everything that's going on. That felt very POTUS, for fuck's sake. Shit. Anyways.
Podunkus.
I do tell you when I see her, I think. Maybe. I'm trying to think. I think I've always told you when I've seen her. Oh, you know what? If you're with your buddy, I don't. If I see her on a day when you're with your buddy, I don't tell you.
I mean, most of those...
Not because of anything else, but because I'm like, I already know how she kind of feels about your friend, and so I'm just like, I'm scared that he would be like, well, let's go see her, and he tries to encourage something that's not going to step beyond a certain thing because I heard certain things, and I'll just leave it at that. I do miss Miss C. I do miss Miss C for that reason. Because I'll hear certain things or I'll be told certain things, and then like she'll confirm. She used to confirm or deny it for me. I'd be like, okay, look, girl. So I was talking to so and so over here, and they said this. She's like, girl, it's not even like that. It's like this. And I'm like, oh, okay. Anyways,
Good to know.
Good to know. I wouldn't assume otherwise. So I don't like, look, if I had a magic wand in this world, I would get you 3 girlfriends. And it would probably be, I probably would do Miss Z, just because I think you guys have a good quirky personality together. Not for the sex stuff, because that's kind of borderline creepy for me to a point because of the age gap.
Yeah.
But
A lot of people would say that.
well, I mean, there's different age gaps in my family that's way more than that.
Yeah.
Obs, right? No, but it's more like I would get you Miss Z. I would get you Riley Reed. And I would get you Katsuni.
Wow. That's going back a bit.
It is going back a bit, but it's a lot closer to your age.
Yeah.
And it's Japanese. So,
But
you know.
she's also French. I don't know.
I mean, she gives it up easy, wee wee.
Who was that?
I mean, her legs are about as tall as you, though, so I don't know how that would work out. But if I could wave a wand, and I could be like, hookadius pokadius, you get what you want. I could just go boop, like bop your head with a wand, and just whatever it was, you could have it. It'd be fine. I would do that for you. But
In the real world.
in the real world, all I can do is exactly what I do now. Like, you cute, he's nice. You should talk to him more. I'm telling you, he's a good guy. But it's hard because I've had people say, "Does he like to go out and party?" No,
Yeah, not really.
I can't lie to people, you know. And it's just like, is he one of them guys who's gonna hang out every day? No. Because it's like, how do I promote you in a proper way where I'm just like, okay, look, so Dagda's completely awesome, which you are. And
I know.
Oh, every time you do that, my head hurts.
They know also.
It's because they're all addicted to minuscule penises. I literally, Stacey K, I heard you. I literally heard her say, my clit's bigger than your dick. You're right, girl. You're right. Just saying. Anyways.
Wow.
She cute. Have you seen her pictures on Instagram? Have you seen her on Instagram and Facebook?
I'm
You're not looking at that side of it. Well, I have. She cute.
so there.
So there.
I've been seeing her behind my back.
But you know, the first time I met Stacey K was in a group phone call with Papa and Papa's wife and Crack Ass Cracka. And this was a long time before my partner, but I remember laughing and telling Crack Ass Cracker. I was just like, I had a big crush on you for like a year, because I did. I was just like, I thought she was I saw her at a baseball game on a picture and I thought meow. But anyways.
She's the bee's knees.
Sweetie, let me tell you. I thought so. But anyways, if I could wave a wand for you, I would. But I'm also not going to lie for you. Yep. But what I could do is say, I don't know, maybe he'd consider it. I could do that. I don't know, maybe he'd consider it. I mean, I don't know. I definitely know that I have had to tell more than one lady who came into the shop that, no, you're not interested for you. Because it's like, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it at that. Anyways. What were we talking about?
We were talking about epic rap battles.
Oh, yes. So anyways, I wasn't trying to watch it without you, but I was like really curious about this episode that got canceled, and I still don't even remember who it was. But it was an episode. They decided to cancel it, and it never got completed. But they released it incomplete, and that was like a couple of years ago, I think.
Well, they were for a long time doing like the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they would release the behind the scenes stuff, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they have a whole behind
before they would release the actual video.
I don't know if they did it first or like if it kind of switched at some point to this is what's coming. Because you've got, Epic Lloyd does his own thing, Nice Peter does his own thing, and then they do their thing together. And then, of course, I want to say, Nice Peter got married a few years ago. So
Yep, he had a kid, and that was like kind of the beginning of them not doing it a whole bunch.
And, and they're super smart,
enough.
genius guys like Rhett and Link.
Yeah.
Who've
been in a couple epic rap battles.
The Wright brothers one, it's fan-fucking-tastic, right? But I didn't realize that Rhett and Link had been doing YouTube
Mythical Morning.
I didn't realize they had been doing YouTube for like 20 years, almost 20 years.
Yeah, they've been doing it a long time.
And it's so crazy because it's just like, I had no idea. I knew who they were kind of when you introduced me to them when I met you. And I was just like, but it wasn't necessarily whatever they were talking about on one of the episodes you showed me. It was like, funny, but it wasn't like, that's my bag. Now that I'm more mature, it has nothing to do with older. It has to do with maturing your mentality. I was just like, oh, I get it now. That shit's funny. But I don't know. The one guy's whiny, but I like the tall guy.
They're both tall.
No.
Dude, so the short guy is like 6'4".
He's not.
Yes, he is. He just looks that short because the other guy is that much tall.
I want to say one of them's like 6 foot and the other one's like 6'7". Making me pull out my phone. So they're going to get the hum from my phone being here. Me trying to get on them interwebs. Interwebs is his.
Yeah, the dark-haired dude is still pretty fucking tall. Whereas the blonde guy...
Yeah, he's like 6'7", 6'9", like in that range. He's really tall.
The blonde guy is the taller one.
I know. I'm trying to act like I didn't know that.
Because, yeah, I remember there was a comment, and they were responding to it, and the comment was like, the short one...
Is only 6'1".
Okay, so...
You're wrong.
He's only 6'1".
Admit it, you were wrong.
I was wrong. I overestimated his height by a whole 3 inches.
And that's exactly why we have to call yourself a micropenis, because at one point you were trying to sell 1 for $4, and that's just not how it works. It's more like I wish for 4, but I only have 1.
And it's millimeters, not inches.
That's right, bitches. Yeah, I mean,
I got a 9 millimeter. Bang, 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 bang.
off.
Hey, it's bigger than 7.62 in diameter. That is.
Anyways, I love the Wright brothers one because it's so funny.
Well, that's the one where you first found out who Rhett and Link were.
Yes.
Because you're like, ooh, who's hims?
Right. Shut up. You know, my partner might listen to this one day. Wait, that's all before him, so it
that's
don't matter.
before him, yeah.
It does years before you, hot stuff. Years before. I try to when he goes to work. My inner child is so dirty. She's like, I like that wagon you dragging. And you know what he said? You know what he said to her yesterday? She's like, I like that wagon you dragging. He looks back and he's like, good, because you stuck with it now. I'm like, what? What happened? I'm like, oh no. Like, you know what I mean? Like how you joke around like that. Oh
Yeah.
no. Like,
Spare me.
like it kind of reminded me of the time where Chuck's like, we all had to go over. And you and I were there the longest because we were closing down the one shop.
Yeah.
And he was just like, you guys got to share a room because they got this thing going on. So they've only got one room. And it was like, and I remember going, oh no, we have to share a room again. It doesn't bother me. It freaks other people out when I'm like, yeah, we've slept in the same room. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like it's never bothered me sleeping in the same room as other people. What bothers me is when you sleep in my space. Oh, and what creeps me out is how you slept.
Because I burritoed up.
You fucking mummied up,
Yeah.
and you were just like, whoop. It was just like, oh my god, like what the fuck is this? Anyways, Rhett and Link, they're great. I've tried to watch a little bit more of their stuff, but some of it I don't like quite get.
Yeah, they have some weird shit.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm always clicking. I will click on the videos where I'm just like, oh, they look happy today, and then it's just like, who pissed in their Cheerios? What the fuck's going on? I don't get this. So maybe I need to find one where they look angry, and it'll be the reverse effect, and I'd understand it better.
I don't know. I haven't watched a whole lot of their episodes. I mean, I watched a few like because that was when I got introduced to them too, when they were on the epic rap battles. Mm-hmm. And so then because then also they had their own epic rap battle where it was the manliest man.
Okay.
That one's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't trying to watch it without you. I wasn't, because I still want to go back and revisit it all. And I want to do a couple of things, and then because the way your brain works.
And then they also had a geek versus nerd one. Mm-hmm. And then they did some other stuff that I watched. Like they did like testing. They had a bunch of different ones where they would test stuff.
I know they did like taste test of some food or something.
Yeah, and like one of them was like ramen, and then another one was like weird pizza things. And
yeah. I'm very particular about my food. I'm just like, I mean, I'm a picky bitch, but I'm not. I am, but I'm not. Mm-hmm. And the older I get, the more fascinating I find it that I can't stand the smell of scrambled eggs.
yeah, that's weird.
I don't like the smell of scrambled eggs. I don't. I'm at the point where I had fried eggs the other day, and I'm like, yuck.
Recently, because I've been eating the same shit for months and months and months.
Right. I know. I saw you branch out today. I was so proud of you.
Like this past weekend, I was just like, I don't feel like eating any more of this. And like I said, I'd been eating it. Well, in slight variations. Like sometimes I'll do sausage. Sometimes I'll do other types of sausage. Sometimes I'll do fucking bacon.
Right.
But it's been the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
For probably actually more than a year now. Mm-hmm. With occasional, I'll eat something else on the weekend or something.
Right.
But it's actually worse than, so I did the same thing years ago with curry.
Yeah.
And then for a while I would switch between curry and
Chili.
Mm-hmm. And then I branched out and started doing I want to say bodan, fucking gumbo, which that's really good. But because those are way more complex than what I'm doing, A, it took a lot longer to do, and B, it also took longer to get tired of because, well, it's more complicated. There's a lot more flavor and stuff involved. But yeah, I'm like eating the thing and I'm like halfway through the bowl of stuff and I'm like, I really don't want to eat any more of this.
See, I think because we're working on the dietary changes for a healthier lifestyle and everything. I think that's how I got after 2.5 months of fucking salad with every meal, and and for me, 5 meals a week it was salad with something added to it, and my body just rebelled. I just couldn't. I went to go make salads one night and I just about cried. I was just like, nope.
Yeah, I got to a point last night where I was like, I put another spoonful of it in my mouth and then I just spat it out and it was like, I'm fucking throwing this away. I'm not eating the rest of this. Of course, it was down to like 2 or 3 spoonfuls of
Right.
the fucking stuff. And I was like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. It's just like, and I love salad. I especially love build your own salads and all that. But like, yeah, the other day I was just like, nope, I wouldn't even put it on the fucking list to pick up this weekend. Like, nope, I've got to have a different kind of salad. I understand this is healthier for me and all of that, but I would rather just have more hot vegetables. So I've been eating more broccoli, more mixed veg. And it's weird because I love all that shit, but man, I tell you what. Anyways, so what did we talk about today?
Rhett and Link,
No, before that.
epic rap battles.
And before that.
We talked about some education stuff.
Yeah. So Zach, there we go. That's what I
Yeah.
wanted to get back to before we end out
Okay.
the day. So Zach, does he has to deal with that?
Yes. I guess, yeah, I guess, so if you have a class that has students in it that have
IEPs.
I almost said IEDs, IEPs,
You're not in EOD school right now. It's okay.
I know, right?
Flashbang. Sorry.
Flashbang or an Uzi. What's up with that cutie?
Shotgun bang. What's up with that thing?
Then you have to be made aware of this, right? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of interesting because basically only the people who have those students are allowed to have that information,
Yeah.
which is understandable. They're the only ones who need to know, really.
Yes.
And as far as the privacy of the kids and their parents,
100%.
so anyway, something ended up getting messed up, not only with I told you earlier that the schools didn't account for the number of students who were actually going to be at that school this year.
Yeah.
And so they have classes that are bigger than what are legally allowed. And they're trying to shuffle stuff around. They might have got it fixed by now because this was like the week before last he was talking about this. But yeah, they ended up having teachers getting informed about students that they shouldn't have gotten informed about.
Yeah.
And so there was all kinds of weirdness going on.
And here's the thing for me is educators work as teams, work as teammates in these schools.
Yeah.
I understand, say maybe it's not necessary for Mr. Zach to know that Johnny and Jillian, even though they're in 6th grade, have a 3rd grade reading level, and so they need remedial reading to assist them lesson plans. Because he only fills in for Mrs. Duncan once a month. If they're teammates, and just hear me out on this, if you're teammates with something, right, and say that, like, what is his specialty field? Is it mathematics? Is it English? Is it history, geography?
I don't remember what I think it was math.
So if he's a mathematics
remember.
teacher and he has a certain way that he teaches children on an IEP program that puts them in a remedial learning situation, why wouldn't you share that information with your teammate? Like, look, I came up with a game plan like this. This is how I figured out a game plan to help them. because Johnny and Jillian are really struggling. So this would be the norm, right? This is what the state says, right? And but I found that if I took what the state says in with my personal experience from feedback from my students and I merged them together, this really worked for Johnny and Jillian to move forward. Why wouldn't you share that information? Because it's a different way. Because there are some teachers out there like, nope, the state says I can treat 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, 4 + 4 = 8, and 8 + 8 is too much for you. And you have teachers that are like that. You don't have teachers that are as passionate. Trust me, there are teachers that are creepy. We see a creepy teacher all the time. Although I think he's retired by now, thank God.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So to me, I understand why people would be in an uproar about it, and I feel bad for this little cocksucker. I can't wait to fucking kick his fucking motor. Anyways, he likes to come out between 9 and 10 at night and try to burn circles in the intersection up there, and it's really fucking annoying. Anyways, so I understand where people would be like, oh, this is such privy information. But all the educators are supposed to be there to, one, support each other, and two, their students, or you can vice versa that. So why wouldn't you share a way that you're reaching kids to somebody who might be struggling? So I don't know why it's such a big fucking deal if it's in the education system, because teachers fill in for each other all the time. At least when we were going to school, they did. And from what I've experienced and heard from the kids who used to live next door to me, they had it all the time. Like, teachers have to go to the bathroom. A teacher would be running through both classes. So,
did you ever watch that AP Bio show?
I did not.
I tried watching it, and there was a bunch of times when it was like, I can tell this is supposed to be funny right now, but I don't find it funny.
Yeah.
I had a whole bunch of experiences with it. Like I only watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes.
Right.
And it was like, first of all, I'm not a huge fan of that actor, even though I really liked Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He was from that.
Yeah, he's
the kind of smarmy dickhead dude.
It's funny because I'm sure he's a good actor and I'm sure there's people who like him, but everything I've ever seen him, do you want me to say his name?
Go ahead, I don't care.
Glenn Howerton. Everything I've ever seen him do, he comes across as a smarmy ass. And when I quit, I just was like, you know what? I'm going to struggle with this actor. And that is because he did that 90s show. He was in that 1 season run of that 90s show, and he was just a smarmy dick in that too. And I don't think he can get away from that because he's got that dry sense of humor, that just that very...
He's got that face.
He does have resting dick face. He has RDF so hard. Like, I'm surprised his wife, when she goes to blow him, doesn't go straight for the top of his head and go, ugh, when are you going to shave? Instead of his dick sometimes. He's a good... I know, right? Sorry.
Wow.
That was square. I'm sure he's a good actor in his own right, but the problem I have is that if you keep using that half of you, I'm a method actor and I'm pulling in from what I see and my own experience and I feel like Teacher John from Indianapolis, Indiana. I feel like he would be a little condescending because he's an AP, right? So it means he's really smart, right? Nope. No. I don't do the smarm. We've talked about this before. I don't fucking do smarmy very well. And I hate the fact that, or I don't hate's a strong word. I dislike the fact that I got picked on when I was a kid for having some smart classes. I hate that. And it's just like, and it's so funny because I've had a conversation in recent history. Why do you self-deprecate? Why do you do that? Kids have it hard today because especially if they're between the age of like 8 and 16 especially, or I'll actually even say 10 and 18 because of when COVID came into their life.
Yeah.
And so kids got used, a lot of these kids spent like a year and a half at home learning. So when they had to go back in person, but everybody's super sensitive now. It's just like, we don't tolerate bullying. Where the fuck were you when I was a kid? And somebody was saying, oh, you just think you fucking know everything because you're in the smart class. I'm not in the smart class. I have a advanced class. I do. And I even remember, even in high school, my science teacher was like, I want to put you into this class. And I looked at him and I said, no. It was already bad enough that he already published the A plus students, the 100+% students, because I loved learning science things. I loved English. I loved science. First 30 days, he publishes the A plus club. And of course, it's done alphabetically. There's only like 3 people in the class ahead of me, last name wise at the time. Thank God my last name then wasn't what it is now, or I'd have been first on the fucking list. And people would see that as you walked out of the door every day. As you walked out of the classroom, you saw that every day. Because it's not like it was written in like 11 print. It was like fucking an inch high. So it wasn't like avoidable. And it was just, oh, you just think you're so smart because you're part of the A plus club. And it was just like, so I feel bad for kids today because when they're developing and learning how to have these interactive skills and these socialization skills, I mean, like when they really need to learn it, which really you need to socialize them when they're young, but they really need to
practice and develop it.
Yeah, they
in
need
their
to
teens.
practice and develop it, get the sand it down to get rid of the rough edges, so that by time you are that going into preteen, you're in your prepubescent going into a preteen and then into a teen, you've acclimated on how to deal with how you're going to approach people when they're just like, you nerd, you geek, you nerd, and how they're going to handle it. But instead, a lot of these kids miss a year and a half. And even when the kids were next door, the old kids were here, like they had like 2 years they did remote learning.
Yeah.
Because they've only been gone for, all of 2020, all of 2020 from like March, April, May, like pretty much they went back from winter break, and then so much of the schools were out. They were like, those kids were, but of course this also has to do with what their mother did, right?
Yeah.
And then we had the lockdown, and then they started classes early because they needed to make up from the prior year. So all the way up until they left, they all except for the 2 oldest, finally, the last 3 months they were here, actually went back to school. And then the oldest son, he got a girlfriend, and he was really fucking mad because he moved 4,000 miles away or however far Florida is, the furthest fucking point away you can get from us.
Pretty much,
just... So, I don't know. Anyways.
That actually kind of makes me think of my cousins, the closest ones to me, the M kids. Monica, she was the oldest, so she was the closest to me. When I was a senior, she was a freshman.
Right.
And she actually, no, I think she skipped a grade, actually. So I think she was a freshman when I was a fucking junior. Anyway, she got to high school, and she got really intimidated because she was cute. And so she got a lot of attention from boys. And so she fucking basically was like, I want to be homeschooled.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, they were witnesses, so she couldn't actually interact with most of those guys.
Right.
She could, but anyway. So she ended up choosing to be homeschooled.
Right.
And then, of course, her younger brother and sister were like, we want to be homeschooled too. The only real saving grace, I would say, for people who were homeschooled like them was that they were part of a church.
Yeah.
And so they did get a fair amount of social interaction with other kids their age.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of a smaller... It's obviously a much smaller slice of society than
it's a smaller community.
Yeah.
And they might as well have been Amish, and then as soon as they graduated, went on Rumspringa. Because holy fuck, it's just, But again, I feel bad for kids. We see how many, especially kids, right now, we are literally 3 years past all the lockdowns. Schools are back in, right? You have to pay to be remote schooling or whatever anymore, I think. Schools are back in session. They're actually back at the school. So the kids who are 12, 13, 14, 15, right? So they're back in school, or they're supposed to be. And they miss that key time to really learning social interaction.
Yeah.
Because even though COVID said lockdown, not all parents could stay home with these kids when you do the math backwards, when they're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And, you feel bad. But you know, it's just like, and society's just going, you poor sweet thing, you poor thing, you poor thing. It's society's fault. It's your parents' fault.
It's everybody but your fault.
It's everybody but the kid's fault who's going, I saw this video on the YouTube and decided that looked like fun because, I can't afford to get a driver's license at 12 years old, but I can steal a cigarette. I can steal a beer.
Yeah.
I might as well fucking be driving and making money. And the scary thing is there's a lot of these 14, 15, 16-year-olds that are out there that are carrying firearms. And the first thing I think is, how the fuck did you afford that? Do you know how long I had to save to get my first firearm? And I don't ever want to be in that position where I have somebody draw on me and I have to return that same aggression. I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and I'm not saying let's ban firearms because fuck you out of my cold dead hands.
Yeah.
Never. But what I am saying is, if you have kids that are out there where their parents are not actively involved in a way that's really productive to those children having a healthier way in life, because I mean, think about it. The last 3 years, just the amount of 12 to 15-year-olds, it's fucking nuts. And it doesn't just happen here, because sometimes, you start to think, God, it's just on the West Coast. But this has been happening since COVID, because I just saw an episode in Louisiana from 2022. I just saw an episode from like 2021, not 2022, from 2021. And 14 and 15-year-old are out with fucking guns, and not just guns, but with like Glock 19s, Glock 20 somethings, I think Glock 14s and 19s with extended mags,
Okay.
running around trying to rob people.
Okay.
So it's scary. It's scary because we have this whole portion of this generation of kids that are going to be fucked up for a very long time because they didn't get proper way to learn social interaction. And I don't know how they're going to fix that shit.
Yeah. It kind of makes me think of something that Andrew Bustamante, I think his name is, the dude from Everyday Spy. He was talking about some of the fucked up, like, warlords and shit like that in Africa. And the child soldiers and shit. And some of the fucked up stuff that tends to happen to these boys.
Yeah.
And sort of the carry on effects of it. Like one of the things was that one of the main ways that the warlords maintain power is by controlling all the women, and controlling access to the women. So basically, if you're one of these boy soldiers, even as you get into your teen years and later early 20s or whatever, your only access to women, unless you're committing SA, is through the warlord and his permission to do stuff.
Yeah.
And then also the boys themselves are getting SA'd by the older boys. And
the same thing happens in India too. I mean, it's not just Africa; it's definitely India.
Well, the examples that were being given were about the warlords in Africa, it becomes sort of its own little mini culture.
Yeah,
it's kind of like those countries that still use child labor. One of the things that perpetuates it is the adults.
Oh yeah.
They're like, well, when I was a kid, we did this, so it's normal, so we continue doing it.
Yeah.
And so the dude who was interviewing Andrew was like, well, what's the answer to that? And Andrew's like, well, I don't think you're going to like my answer. And he's like, well, what is it? He's like, basically, they're all going to have to die.
Yeah.
In order for this to, the easiest way for this to stop being perpetuated is for all of them to die. Maybe some of them can be quote unquote saved and be brought over to a better way, but basically the only the surest way and the fastest way for this to stop is for everybody who was involved in this to not be alive.
Yeah, and that's a scary thought, because you would think, as advanced as society is, that we'd have a way to fix it. But look at our state. We have a juvenile prison system. in the middle of our state,
Yeah.
between one half and the other.
Yeah.
And we have had multiplicities of escapes, and they've had to toughen it up. And these are not kids that are just like, my mom or my dad were out of the picture and I felt neglected and I needed to. I mean, I've heard stories about 13, 14, 15-year-olds. Like, I had to support my younger siblings. So, of course, I had to steal groceries. There's a couple of the kids who fucking escaped, 15, 16-year-olds, that are in there waiting until they're a fucking adult to go to fucking Walla Walla State Prison to serve out their life sentence for multiple murders.
Yes.
And it is, you have no chance. You have no chance. If you could literally just put a pause on thing, there's a great part in X-Men, in the old X-Men movie, where Professor X slows everything down, stops everything, and he goes and he removes people from the situation, right?
Okay.
Do you remember that? They're like in the mall setting and they're going to give away. And so he stops them from setting shit on fire and this, that, and the other and guides them out. But anyways, so I just wish there was a pause button on life so you could just take them for a moment and say, listen, this is your future. And the reality is that we have to get, I hate to say it, but if things aren't going to change, we have to have tougher juvenile sentencing.
Yeah.
I get very tired of they didn't know better. The fuck they didn't know better. And I'll tell you how I know they didn't know better, because
Are they all sociopaths? Or psychopaths, rather? Because psychopaths don't know the difference. Sociopaths know the difference between right and wrong. They just don't care.
Sociopaths, you're correct on that. But psychopaths, oh, they know the difference, but they like to see you suffer. But the thing about it is that we have to get like tougher, like structures for juvenile. We're going to have to, because if for anybody sits there, I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. I didn't have a better example. The fuck you didn't. Because when you go to school, any public school, all you have to do is spend 6 months in any public school. And the teacher will tell you, you do not beat on other people. You do not steal from other people. That is shit that gets you punished.
Yeah.
I mean, although maybe not anymore nowadays. Anyways, we're running super long today. So it's kind of interesting to look at that, the aspect of the others. Because, like I said, when you first said that, I was just like, oh, are you going to talk about Nicole Kidman? Oh, boy. But I think it's a good aspect, a way to look at things. Is it's kind of cool to be your own person, and everybody's got their own weird way of doing things. And if the norm is what I see now in the news, in the mainstream, I never want a part of that. I don't ever want to be part of, oh, you're a Republican, I can't ever talk to you. You're a Democrat, I can't talk to you.
Yeah.
I don't want any part of that. I don't want any part of, it's normal for children at the age of 14 to go out and steal cars and drink liquor and have babies. Nope, not for me. And, you think I'm playing? Teen pregnancy statistics is wild out there. So is STD. So is senior STDs.
I mean,
They had a
might as well go out with a bang.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
a couple of years ago in our state. They actually had an epidemic of syphilis going through nursing homes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, how the fuck do you do that? Like, dude, you can't even get a fucking erection. How the fuck does that shit happen?
I got a little blue pill. Time to party.
That's a good thing you got treatment plan for priapism.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Anyways, so here's the weird thing. We do a lot of funny stuff, and then every once in a while we just have this episode pop in there that's almost like philosophical to a degree. Ugh. Smart people all talking shit.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I know, not me.
I wasn't part of that conversation.
Right. Who decided to let them smarties out today? We didn't approve of that.
We don't like your kind on here.
Down here.
Smarty pants.
Smarty pants. Anyways, you guys, please, you know the drill. We keep saying it because it's very important to us that we get a like, we get a comment, we get a follow and a subscribe. Those are the 4 steps to help us getting closer to actually earning an income and bringing you guys more joyful content. Because the more successful we are, the more content we can release to them. It would be nice to get monetized and then never have to charge for certain things.
It's very nice to have a photo release,
It's very nice, very nice. Anyways,
especially if it's a monetized one. You dirty motherfucker. What is wrong with that Dagda dude? He's so fucked up. Anyway.
spending fucking an episode and a half talking about schmegma. Fucking dick.
You're the one who brought that up.
Anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic today. Fantastic today. Fantastic tomorrow. Fantastic forever.
Yes, indeed.
Dick. Any-
May harmony find you.
Fifth Harmony?
May harmony find you.
Yeah, Fifth Harmony. Music group. They're all cute.
No.
That was you. That wasn't me.
Yes, it was.
Ugh. Anyways, later, taters.
Fucking savages. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Okay, everybody, that's all the time we have for today. So I want to thank you for stopping by to enjoy the conversation. We're glad you're here, and please share and share again and share some more. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We'll be having another chat and another cup soon. We'll talk to you then. Look forward to seeing you.